that time of the year again. I'm sure we can all remember when we did a whole pens down in Matric, because it was such a relief, where thousands of youngsters party up a storm for 8 days in KwaZulu-Natal.
Now, the Rage Festival officially kicked off yesterday. Now in its 14th year, the festival gives youth from across the country a chance to let their hair down after exams.
Let's find out more. We are joined in studio by the festival spokesperson, Darren Sanders. Also with us is Jesse Molly, a.k.a. J Molly, who's also on this year's lineup. Gentlemen, a very good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
Let's get this out the way and allay fears in terms of parents a lot worried about safety, about their children consuming alcohol, some for the very first time.
Sure. Well, look, Rage Festival, as you said, has been going for 14 years, so we've got this waxed. We spend a substantial amount of time and resources developing a very comprehensive safety and security ecosystem that we take this very seriously. We understand that this, for many of the rages, what we call them, who go to the festival, this is the first time they'll be going to a festival of this nature and of this size. We work with the local police, we work with local authorities. We have police who are both uniformed and undercover, who operate throughout the festival just to make sure everyone is safe and doing anything they shouldn't be doing. We also hire private security. We have an organization called the Red Frogs who join us, and they essentially are also newly kind of out of high school, so they look after their peers essentially. Right. We also have amazing technology in place, so when you arrive at the festival and you register and you get your ticket, essentially you get a wristband, and on there is a little chip, and on that chip is all of the information we need. So if anything happens to you, we just tap that on our device, and we have all the information we need, your next of kin, and we can inform anyone who needs to get hold of you. Okay. But most importantly is to say that we're very much about prevention, and we work incredibly hard to make sure that it's a safe space for kids to have fun.
A safe space for kids to have fun, very important, because parents are entrusting you with their children. Let's just take a listen at this video to see what people can expect at the Rage Festival.
Let's chat now to one of the stars, arguably, at the Rage Festival, Jesse, or a.k.a. J Molly. Jesse, what can we expect from your performance this year, and what genre of music are you going to be performing?
I don't know what I would list my genre as. It's more like it's hip hop, like alternative hip hop. There's no label behind it, but yeah, that's what I do. Our stage, Rage decided to contact us. They're trying to broaden their market, so I appeal more to a certain type of youth, like a certain market in the youth. So we came together, we booked Ricky Rick, Big Hash, Rico, myself, bunch of few other artists. It's gonna be on Monday night. And yeah, just good time, different vibe this time, as opposed to last year.
What can we expect from the Rage Festival for those who've never attended before?
I don't know, it's just, it's just a good time. Just to say, I did grade 12, I did all of my school years, everything. Let me quickly have a good time for 2 weeks before university. So yeah, just a good time, good vibes.
Yeah. Darren, he touches on some of the artists that will be performing at the festival. Who else is going to be there? We saw from that little snippet, Coffee there and other artists.
So Rage has two main areas, or two main festival sort of zones. The first is the Sound Factory, and that's in Ballito. And then this is the first year that we've launched the Samsung Super Club, and that is essentially a club environment where a lot of DJs perform. There's a lot of electronic music, but the Sound Factory has different stages. So we have the main sort of electronic stage, and then, as Joe Molly said, we've also got the sort of hip-hop basement stage. Some of the artists we have this year are Nervo from Australia. They're one of the biggest electronic artists. We have Black Coffee performing again, Nasty C, Jeremy Loops, who's going to add an interesting and different dynamic as well. So we're really excited, and I think what Rage does really well is it brings in some of the big names, but it also works at promoting up-and-coming talent, people who haven't really had a chance to perform on a stage. And I mean, we have up to 15,000 people attending over the course of the festival, so to be able to perform to a crowd like that is quite something.
What do you need to know if you're watching this and you're saying, well, that's something that maybe could be of interest for me?
Well, the great thing is there are still, we call them passports simply because they give you access to the festival. There are still some passports available, but what's also great is we've launched Sound Factory individual tickets, so you don't have to necessarily come for the entire festival, although we'd love you to. But if you want to, you can go into our app, the Rage Festival app, you can download it or go onto our website and you can have a look at the schedule and you can decide, well, I really like that night or that night or that night, and I can buy an individual ticket to go and see Black Coffee, for example, or Nova or J Molly, who's performing on Monday.
Sure. I'm sure kids are going insanely crazy.
No, it's going to be a good time.
So let's just, Darren, let's just touch on some of the concerns that have been raised by parents, especially regarding issues around substance abuse, you know, and the possible use of drugs at such a festival. Would you say these concerns are valid, and what are you doing to kind of curb, especially underage drinking or drug abuse at these kind of festivals?
Absolutely. So underage drinking, first of all, we have a zero tolerance policy. And if you are caught with any illegal substance, or if you are caught drinking underage, although let me just caveat that by saying you cannot get into any Rage Festival area or club or event if you are under 18. You cannot even purchase a ticket if you cannot validate your ID. It is a strictly no under 18. And as I said, we have undercover cops. We work with local authorities, and we are constantly monitoring. We have people moving throughout our festival to ensure that there is no activity happening. And we have, essentially a very clear, good record from the local municipalities and the police over the many years. And if there is an incident, it's dealt with immediately. We hand them over to the relevant authorities. We inform, the relevant people, and we make sure that it doesn't happen again. But as I said, we're very much about prevention. In terms of drinking, these kids are going to be 18. They are going to let their hair down. We're not going to say that, oh no, these kids are not going to drink. But what we're going to say is we're going to provide an environment where it's safe for them to do so. And that if anything does happen, we have medical personnel on hand, we have the Red Frogs on hand. We also have our Rage rides. We do not allow, there's no parking available at any of our events. You cannot drive there. You have to use one of our transport operators. That way there is, we completely reduce the risk of drinking and driving as well. So we really have, and every year we continue to take more precautions to ensure the safety of our festival goers.
J Molly, let's speak to your peers, let's speak to young people who are going to be attending the Rage Festival in terms of responsible alcohol use and responsible partying. What would you say to young people who are attending the Rage Festival in terms of being responsible when they party?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's their own person. You've got to be grown for yourself. No one's going to do it for you. So just drink responsibly, make sure everything is safe, and just have a good time. Don't take it too far,
Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Rage spokesperson Darren Sanders and artist J Molly.